Hello everyone, in this video I am going to describe the different strategies to solve fill-ups in PTE exam, and I am going to describe these strategies by solving one particular task for you. So let's start. So here you can see the task. Now very first thing which we have to do is that we have to look at the sentence in which the fill-up is there. Just read the sentence in which the fill-up is there. You don't need to read the other sentences, right? So let's start. This fill-up sentence starts from this innovation and it ends at transplants, right? This innovation can be used in the medical field for different dash comma, especially for organ transplants. Now we are talking about innovation, right? Innovation is used for different what, especially for organ transplants. Now this is an example, especially for organ transplants. Now let's see the options. So here the options are formalities, adoption, procedures and adaptation. Now after the word different, very first thing is we have to use the plural form. So this is the grammatical rule. After the word different and various, we have to use the plural form. Always remember this. Now we will apply this grammatical rule while selecting the correct option out of these four, and we can see that two options are the singular forms, that is adoption and adaptation. So we will simply cut these two options. Now we will select the correct answer out of the remaining two options, formalities and procedures. Now again read the sentence. This innovation can be used, right? Innovation can be used. So innovation can be used for what? Example is given, especially for organ transplants. What can be the organ transplants? Can they be the formalities or can they be the procedures? What can they be? Means the innovation can be used for the formalities like organ transplants or the procedures like organ transplants. So the correct answer would be, I think you have guessed, that would be procedures. Now let's move to the next sentence. As of now, comma, transplant patients dash the risk of organ rejection. Means some sort of verb will be there in the fill up. They do something with the risk of organ rejection. Who? Transplant patients. Now let's see the options given for this MCQ, and these are race, lost, run and left. Now grammatical portion. As of now. Now word represents the present tense, and in present tense we know what sort of verbs we use, means which form of verbs we use first form of verb. Now we will simply cut second form of verbs, those are left and lost. Now we have to select one correct option out of the two, run and race. Now we talk about transplant patients. Transplant patients do something with the risk, right? So race the risk or run the risk of organ rejection. Now race is the term used in the competition. There is no sort of competition going on. We are talking about the risk. So the correct option would be run the risk. And run the risk means to take the risk. Now let's move to the next sentence. The next sentence starts with the fill up. Dash the donor organ is necessary to the patient, comma. Other measures need to be taken to try to stop the immune system from fighting against it. Now let's see what the options are there for this fill up. You can see the options are then, since, why and how. Now again we have to look at the sentence in order to understand the grammatical rule. Now first of all, the sentence is a complex sentence. Now what's the complex sentence is? Complex sentence is a sentence that contains at least two clauses. Now what the clauses are? Clause is a group of words that has subject as well as the predicate. Now in this sentence we have two clauses. First clause is before the comma and second clause is after the comma. In the first clause, the donor organ is the subject and is necessary to the patient is the predicate, right? So this is the first clause. And in the second clause, other measures, subject, need to be taken to try to stop the immune system from fighting against it is predicate. So these are the two clauses in this sentence, means this is a complex sentence. I hope now you have understood how this is a complex sentence. Now let's move to the first word to be used in the complex sentence. There are particular words which can be used in the beginning of the complex sentence, not all the words, right? Out of these options, then, why, and how can never be used in the beginning of the complex sentence, right? Which words can be used in the beginning of the complex sentence will be discussed in another video related to the complex sentences only. So here the right option is since. Now let's move to the next sentence. The use of bioinks and specialization of 3D bioprinters can dash in less rigorous medical therapies for these patients. Now look at the options given for this fill up. The options are result, answer, question and press. Now if we talk about the grammatical rule, immediately after the model, here the model is can. Immediately after the model we have to use the first form of verb. Now if we see the options, all the words are the verbs and they are in the first form only, so no grammatical rule will be applied in this sentence. Now how to select the correct option? We have to locate the subject of the sentence, and the subject is the use of bioinks and specialization of 3D bioprinters. Subject is the use, particularly the use. So the use of something, use of what? Bioinks and specialization of 3D bioprinters, right? The use of something can do what, right? We have to question this to ourselves while selecting, while reading all the four options, right? We have to question this. Can the use of bioinks and specialization of 3D bioprinters result in less rigorous medical therapies? Answer, in less rigorous medical therapies? Question, in less rigorous medical therapies? Or can the use of bioinks and specialization of 3D bioprints press in less rigorous medical therapies? Means what the use can do. Can the use bring the result? Can the use answer? Can it question? Can it press? So the most suitable answer would be what? The use can result, right? Answer would be result. The use of bio inks and specialization of 3D bioprinters can bring out some sort of result, right? Can result in means after the usage of bioinks and specialization of 3D bioprinters, what will happen? Less rigorous medical therapies will be there for the patients. Next sentence. The conclusion that 3D bioprinting can lead to better lifestyles for organ transplant patients and less rejection by the human immune system was reached after research dash the use of autologous cells and specialized cells in 3D bioprinting. Means something is done after research did something with the use, right? What the research did something with the use of autologous cells that we have to find from the options. Now let's talk about the options: had, hide, lost and showed. Now all these options are verbs, but two verbs are in first form and two verbs are in second form. So we have to see the grammar portion now. For that we will see the tense of the sentence. Now the tense of the sentence is past. How? The human immune system was reached. From was we come to know that it's the past tense. So first form of verbs will be automatically eliminated by us. So first form of verbs cannot be our answer. We have to select the correct answer out of two second form of verbs given in the options. So now we have to see research. What did the research do with the use of autologous cells? Could it be the research lost the use or the research showed the use? Does it happen that research loses something? No, it never happens. Never ever. The research always shows something, reveals something, discloses something, right? So the correct answer would be the research showed the use of autologous cells. So now let's revise quickly all the grammatical rules we applied while solving the entire task. In the entire task we were having total 5 fill-ups, and out of those 5 fill-ups we applied grammatical rules in 4 fill-ups. In the first fill-up, just before the fill-up, we looked at the word different and we rejected the singular forms and we selected the correct option out of the two plural forms. In the next fill-up, we looked at the tense of the sentence. So from the word now, we come to know that it's the present tense, and in present tense we use first form of verb. So we rejected second form of verbs. Those were lost and lived. In the next sentence, we simply recognized that this is a complex sentence, and in the complex sentence, in the beginning, we cannot use three words given in the options, and those words are then, why, and how. So we simply selected since as the correct option. In the last sentence where we applied grammatical rule, we checked the tense, and we checked the tense from the word was. We came to know that it's the past tense, so we simply deleted first form of verbs, those were had and hide, and we selected the right option out of the remaining two forms, those were second form of verbs, lost and showed. Thanks for giving your time, and I'm 100% sure that if you have listened each and everything in this video very carefully, you will be able to select the correct option within a short span of time in your final exam. Best of luck. Thank you once again.